Leo, excuse me. Thank you for tuning in to Perfectly Imperfect Tarot. This is Green Eyes here with your reading. Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, Martians, astronauts. Pick a node. It does not matter to me. I love you all. Cross watchers, I am a snitch. I'm telling you now. Please don't curse me in the comments. Love you too. Leo, this is a judgment-free zone, but you will hear the truth. No gender or age, only energy. You're going to hear me use terms, he, she, her, him, they, them, it, heifer, pay it no mind. Feel the energy. Remember, roles can always be reversed. Leo, I thank you. Like, share, subscribes, emails, comments, love tokens, donations. Thank you. Thank you, and I thank you again. All right, first, my apologies for your last reading. I don't know what happened. It was only your reading that lost sound. And I apologize for not seeing it sooner because honestly, I was doing my own kind of birthday shenanigans. So please accept my apology, okay? I will make it up to you today. We're going to spend some extra time in your energy. One thing, I'm not picking you up in Leo, okay? I don't know if this is Page of Pentacles or Cancer. But I'm picking up a struggle in your energy. It's a struggle to, it's a struggle for, let me start with compliments. Let me start there. Leo, coming through that portal, the portal of Leo, you know, for the tarot, you represent like strength, you know, the sun. And it's because you have a beautiful way of overcoming and in spite of. You have that in you, you know? So it's kind of like when people sometimes misunderstand your energy, they see you as vain, you know, flamboyant, things like that. It's because you can see the fullness of life sometimes when other people can't. And you like to live in that space. That's the beauty, or one of the beauties of Leo, okay? But coming into your energy, I don't feel like you're activating that part of you. I feel like you're more so working off of some type of small exchange. Like, I'll do this if you do that. Or others of you that are really struggling, it's more of like, I just want to hide. I want to be under the covers. You know, I just want to just wake me when it's over. That kind of thing. Okay? So we're going to see what's going on with this energy. We're pulling from the Oracle of the Seven Energies. Can I have Leo, please? We're not doing all that. Nope, 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 nope. Pull it in. I love you, Leo, and I am going to give you some extra, but within moderation. Hello? Yeah, pull it in. That's what I get. See, that's what I get. That's what happens when you're not obedient and you know what you're supposed to do. You're being told what to do and you do your own thing, then you're going to have to work harder. You hear me? So here we go. Healing the heart, the great and full, broken open. I would like this simply because at the center is literally love and appreciation and joy and fulfillment. Kind of like the energy of the Ace of Cups. It replenishes, restores, rejuvenates, and it represents you. This is the good characteristics. I was just talking about that beauty of Leo, the purity of your joy, you know, the purity of your presence in the world. Okay. But some of you have not or are not fully tapping into it And it's because you're maybe trying to get over a loss here, or you're just simply not feeling the world. It more so feels universal to me. It doesn't feel like, oh, my I don't know, my dog died, or, you know, I broke up with my partner, or me and my best friend aren't speaking. It doesn't feel small and frivolous. You know, it feels like encompassing, like the entirety of the world is maybe pulling off of your energy or something. And maybe you're simply feeling the effects of that, or you are experiencing an awakening, a new level of awakening, because awakenings happen in levels. It's kind of like peeling an onion in layers, or leveling up one step at a time. But you're maybe experiencing a new level of awakening, and it could be overwhelming. You know, it could be overwhelming. Like I said, some of you just want to get in bed and just say, wake me when it's done. Maybe because you're physically, emotionally, just absolutely exhausted. Okay. But a powerful move is coming in. Now, this here is when you have direction, you have purpose, you have promise, you're on point, you know, 10 toes down, right? And you take action. You take action. That's what's coming in. And as soon as you do that, a lie has to be revealed. That's the thing about any type of realization in life or edification in spirit. It has to reveal what was suppressing you in the first place, because you have to see it for what it is, so that going forward, you'll know how to move accordingly, which is, for you, it will be with a spirit of gratitude. I am so thankful. I am so grateful that I now see this, that I now understand that I don't no longer entertain that, that no longer affects me like it used to. You kind of go into that energy, and that energy, the wholeness and the pureness and the divine power that it has, it gives you this awakening fully into this whatever level you're going into. And again, we can bring this down a notch for those that are not into the awakening and all that kind of stuff. Sometimes it's just realization of life, what it is, you know, systemic issues, seeing a system, seeing how this assembly line works, and then figuring out where you used to stand, and now you're standing at a different space, and it's like, wow, why was I doing that? You know what I mean? So that's, you know, it also allows you to kind of explore now new possibilities, new understandings, because you're starting to see things come together. And in that perfect harmony, right? Because now you see the pieces. I think that's what your reading was about. The pieces. Here comes, it's going to come together. It's coming together now, and it's letting you know what you can let go of. All right? What you can release. Wow. All right, let's get some meat and potatoes. My nose. We're going to use the Unveiled Tarot today. Congratulations to those who have discovered portal activation. I don't know how else to say that. It's almost as if you're realizing the power inside of you. I'll say it like that. Can I have Leo's core? Wow. Gemini, lovers, an energy of choice, an energy of alignment, honoring the wholeness of you, which enables you to now equally yoke with a partner or get in alignment with your assignment, okay? That's the energy of choice. Knight of Cups at the bottom. I love that. I love that because this calls into you more healthy energy. So don't, how can I say that? Don't despair about something you're leaving behind because you have more coming in. But this discernment, you trying to figure out what's what and who's who, you're going to have to think from a higher perspective, outside of the box, outside of the norm, outside of a system. It's not, it can't be like as simple as 1 and 1 is 2. You're going to have to kind of see a bigger picture, see from a higher perspective. That's the only way you're going to be able to release and stand in a world that you know is absolutely full of and designed to suppress and betray, okay? So emotional control will be required. What's crowning Leo's energy? What's hanging over Leo's head right now? Wow, beautiful. Divine Masculine and the Two of Swords. Still that choice. Divine Masculine energy embodies all 4 kings. The Divine Masculine has authority. The Divine Masculine can pull down the aces, you know, as needed, as desired. The Emperor speaks things into existence, delegates, you know, rules, okay? So you want to pull down from this authority, meaning know your power, know what's in your control, okay? And when it comes to situations where you may question what's the better option or the better choice, you want your authority to supersede that, because that's simply the gift of free will. It's not a place for panic. It's not a place of a situation of attack. You're not forced in a corner. You simply have some options, okay? And you want to see it as such. You want to see choice as options, not as punishment or a place, like I said, for you to freak out, you know? What's working again? Okay. What works against you is Pisces, the Hangman. Woo. And it's strong too. Oh, yeah. The Hangman is a still energy. It's an energy where you're kind of feeling stuck, but it's for the purpose of experiencing another way, another perspective, another understanding. It's kind of like the difference between the moon, seeing it in the day and then seeing it at night. It's just a whole new view. It's still the moon, but it's a different perspective, right? It works against you not to be open to this, because I said it earlier. I said you're going to have to see something from a higher place, from a divine place. You know, see it with your godly eyes. Process it with a godly mind. But if God's abundance or blessings in your life are only linear and earthbound, then you're not seeing the fullness of frequency, the or understanding the authority of frequency. I don't know how else to say that. Yeah, see, that's because of maybe inexperience. Sugar. And there you go. That inexperience or that lack of understanding, it affects your strength because you're not tapping into the authority. Yeah, which then messes with your focus, your confidence, and alters your path. Okay. Where is this coming from? Where is this coming from for Leo? Thank you. Leo, you have been... Leo, I love you. Let me say that first. I love you. You've been naughty. Okay? Now, because it can go both ways, I have to say, not all of you, but a lot of you have been naughty. And to be honest, I don't feel bad about it. You know, no shade. In your energy, I feel like people got what they deserved. You know, right, wrong, or indifferent. But what it did was it put you in an energy. That's the page I was talking about earlier. I said I wasn't sure if it was a page or that I just want to disappear kind of energy. But what it did was it put you in a place that you had to either settle or do something yourself. So let's just say you got mad at everybody in your house because you're picking up all the laundry all over the place, right? So you got mad. You might have, you said, you know what? I got something for these fools. And you went cold. You went cold in your heart. You said, I don't even care no more. And you took the laundry that everybody left on the ground and put it in a trash bag and hid it behind the house. You understand what I'm saying? But now you got to deal with the aftermath of that because let's just say the kids needed a uniform for school. Now you're doing tedious work, making it harder on yourself because they don't have a uniform, and the only thing it did is make you now wash your uniform every day because they can't find the rest of their uniforms. If that I'm trying to make sense of this for you, you know, and I think you made peace with that because it's like you're saying, listen, if that's what it takes for me to have peace, then fine. I'll just wash clothes every day and they won't have more than one uniform. Nix it. But this is slowing you down. That's what happened. It gave you peace, but it slowed you down. So your cuckoo went back in the clock, but you're an energy of spontaneity and passion and fire. So when you're ready to make moves, you're like, let's go, let's go, let's go. Sometimes you haven't been able to because you had tedious jobs of responsibility based off of something you did in the past or let go of, or something you altered or changed. So let's paint another picture. You were in a bad relationship. You said, F you, I am done, I'm moving. And you moved and you didn't tell nobody. Nobody knows where you're staying, right? But now you got to move in a certain way around that town because you don't want nobody to see you. So you can only shop like early in the morning, late at night, things like that. Okay, so it did alter some things, which blessed you, but you've had to make some adjustments around it. And the adjustments that you've been making, because you've kind of, I think, got caught up in this energy, it's like you forgot your power, your strength, your authority. You went into the survival of my circumstances energy instead of the wholeness of who you truly are. Now you're aligning with that now, but you need the authority in order to activate it. You need this power to activate it. But I don't think you see it wholly yet. Not yet. Not yet. Because I believe God for all things. So I know you're going to get it. You know what I'm saying? You're going to make this move, whatever that is, and you're going to get it. Where are we going with this for Leo? Right back to that page. You see how that page came back? And the strength. This is where I said maybe inexperience, or I have to say immaturity. Maybe you tapped in. You know, we can all be petty. I love y'all, but you know, we talk here. Okay, we talk here. Now, look, if a requirement for you to get out my face is for me to be petty, I'm going to give you a minute, and I'm going to give you some grace. But eventually, yeah, I'm still human. I'm a work in progress, and you're going to get it. So we're going to revisit that. That's where this is going, to that future energy, to revisit that. And honestly, just get it under control with strength. You're getting back into your power, tapping into that divine feminine first, okay, to get you back in check. Right? Because that's what the divine feminine does for us. It mothers us. It nurtures us. It holds us at bay. Things that doesn't allow us to kind of walk in our excellence, right? In our divinity and our holiness, okay? In our obedience, right? So that's what that divine feminine helps us with strength energy. Once you can tap into that, get yourself together, you stand up, you say, woo, you know what? That was a run, but it didn't take me out, okay? I now know at least what's important. This is Nine of Wands. I know what's important, okay? If I don't know nothing else, I know I want to keep this, I want to have that, I want to protect this, and I got some oomph in me. Okay, that in itself is going to allow you to see victory for what you've already done. That's the beauty of this. It brings you right back to honoring you, because that's the perfection of the Most High. So he allows us, or if depending on what your belief system is, you know, I'm just want to say the Creator. The Creator allows us to how can I say that? Meets us where we are, so that we can see ourselves first. When we're praying, fix this, fix that person, they were mean to me, you know, fix this this job and this, but when we have to, those things do get dealt with, but we get dealt with first, okay? So you're going to see yourself victorious, successful, overcoming, you know, acknowledged, appreciated. You're going to see this first. This balances out your emotions, get you back to a leveled emotional state, also in making room for assistance, past life assistance, angelic assistance, you know, holy and divine on the other side, helping us with our journey. This comes in, fire activation started. Fire activation, I don't know, ignited. You know, Knight of Wands coming in. Now your playful nature starts to come back. Your spontaneity starts to come back. You're still focused on your goals, but you start to feel like yourself a little bit. Now that old part of you can die, because you're stepping into the strength of the new you. You know what I mean? And not the fear of what you have to do as the new you. Okay? So the rebirth will be first an independent fulfillment, all right? Then we can get to work. Three of Pentacles. Remember, teamwork makes the dream work, right? So you can either you're going to start working on a plan of action, or you maybe start some therapeutic things that helps you handle things as an independent, okay? Either way, it's what you need when you need it to keep you leveled. You want to keep that leveled energy for a while until you can release that old mindset. And to be honest, Leo, I don't mean no harm, but I feel poverty I felt it earlier. I thought it was me because I struggle with this. So I disregarded it, but it's coming back here. Sometimes, even to this day, I'm going to share something with y'all. God forgive me. I might regret this tomorrow. You know, sometimes when you go through things and you grow up a certain way, I'll say it like that. When you grow up a certain way, you go through things. It's hard to, you don't realize that the power it has over you. You know, there is no reason why. I'm trying to think of something general. There is no reason why I am using the bottom of a perfume bottle to scrape up toothpaste and get every single piece of it and then cut it in half to make sure I'm getting all the toothpaste. And I literally got 4 tubes of toothpaste under my bathroom sink. Like, it's just, but then there's a part of me that says, you are so ungrateful. You are so what you, I don't care if you have 10 tubes of toothpaste under there. It doesn't matter. It doesn't, you use every little bit of this. What what are you? Oh my goodness. The internal conflict in that moment. Y'all don't, I feel like that's what this feels like to me. This mindset. There's some kind of lack. I didn't have a mother. I didn't have a father. I didn't have the toothpaste. You know, it was 7 of us. We had to share 1 fork. You know, there's something here that you have experience with that needs to go. It needs to go. Simply because, not that it can't happen again, technically, but it can't happen again because of who you are. Because of who you are today, unless there's some type of, I don't know, flood or fire, you really shouldn't, I shouldn't be worried about toothpaste. You know what I'm saying? That's what has to go. Something in you that is stuck in your head. 5 of Pentacles to the 8 of Swords is stuck. And it affects every part of your life. And it has to go so that your new foundation is much stronger and more abundant. Simply because your mindset is abundance. Focused on abundance. Not simply getting rich, but literally living in prosperity. Okay? So, as you fight for your right to party, as you start taking stands, drawing lines of the sand, you know, really kind of recognizing what's behind you, what's beneath you, what can't touch you, like that toothpaste, right? You'll eventually stop fighting it because it's behind you, because it's beneath you, because it can't touch you. You know, there's an energy of making the stand, and then there's an energy of simply standing. Okay? That's the double side of that 7 of Wands. If you can simply stand, yeah, I know toothpaste can run out. That's why I've got 4 more. You know, that kind of thing. When you simply stand, you'll hold on to that. And you'll allow things to happen and not freak out because things are happening. Because whatever is lost, you know, is being returned with some. Whatever you feel like you're not having, you know, more and more is on the way. You know, it's just trying to figure out what to invest in. You know, what's real, what's not, what's fake, you know, what's part of the system, who's lying, what job is going to make it past this, and what company is going to survive that, and, you know, what stock should I invest in? You know, trying to figure things out, right? And when you're trying that, you don't want to do it to a point where it takes your cuckoo out the clock. You simply want to deal with meat and potatoes on the table, You know, sometimes it's, listen, as of today, this is what I need. As of today, these are my options. Now, I could invest in stock, but then that doesn't help me with the gas I need in my tank. So that don't make sense. So take it off the table. You know, I could do this, but it doesn't help me with that. So take it off the table. You know, things like that. That's how you work your discernment, trying to figure things out. And you always want to know that who you are matters. Where you stand and who you are connected to supersedes everything. When you have no one recognizing you, that you've already been chosen, you've already been recognized, that you have a one-on-one connection with a Most High God, Most High living God. And this is how you're performing in life and how you choose to perform in life, whether if it's noticed, appreciated, or not by others. That's the energy of the star. The star doesn't need help to shine. It simply shines. That's why Aquariuses are the way they are. They don't need us. They exist in their own world. But that's because of that star energy. And when the more you notice this and really kind of embody that, then you'll allow betrayals and backstabs and talking people or people that talk down, people that judge. You're going to allow that to simply be over in your mind. You won't give it the space that to live rent free in your head. And that's a battle for you. So that's why I think the Most High is first heightening your connection so that you can be open to some communication and have an opportunity to kind of see it from a different way, because you're struggling with seeing it. So you're going to have some options in your hand to juggle. This is going to bring about your new beginning. And this is how you're going to deal with the masses. Okay? Whew. All right, Leo. I hope this helps. Now, if any event you said green eyes, I don't know you. You don't know me. Matter of fact, your reading was broke last week. My apologies again, okay? But please always be open to check your moon or rising. You know, just don't take this, all right? If it's not for you or you can't hear it, don't take it. Because it's your reading, so you have the ability to pull from it, and that's not fair to everyone else. You know what I mean? Thumbs up, subscribe, so that you're notified of future readings. Make sure you're notified. It's free and it supports the channel, okay? If any event you're looking for a personal appointment, I respond to email request only. My email is perfectlyimperfecttarot@gmail.com. If you do like what you get here, if it helps you, feeds you, even if you're simply entertained, but you come looking for these videos, please sow where you come to eat. I eat off of what you sow, okay? Donation information is below the video. There's also links for CashApp and PayPal for your convenience. In advance, thank you. Other than that, guys, remember, we are all perfectly imperfect. And I'll talk to you next time. Bye.